Hey howdy, this is Editor Mac here. I just wanted to put a foreword in here saying this is going to be a pretty long video, and throughout like half of the video I stopped putting notations because I did not want to notate an hour and a half of video. Tell me how you like those notations at the beginning. Tell me just how you like everything in the comments below, and I hope you really enjoy the video. Thanks for listening to this foreword. Now see ya in the video.
Alright, hey howdy. Welcome guys, welcome to my video once again. Today is actually a very exciting day. I talk about all of the shown cards except for the ones that they're showing on April 5th, which is, I think, release date? I'm not sure. But they're showing everything, the core set and everything on May 4th, April 4th. So today, April 1st. I'm going to be looking at everything but that. And since it's April 1st, I'm going to use that as the guise of any opinion here. Could be an April Fool's joke, or could be 100% legit. And I guess that's up to the viewers. Most of the time, probably pretty true. But if I get anything wrong, probably an April Fool's joke. I probably knew how it was going to be, you know, ahead of time. I was just pranking y'all. I guess enough jokes, enough fooling around. Let's get to the review. Alright, let's start off. Sorry for the janky setup, but this is the best I got. Boom, Glaive Shark. It's a 4-mana 4/3 battle cry. If your hero attacked this turn, deal 2 damage to all enemies. And Demon Hunter? I'd say this is really good in Arena. Really good in Arena. I don't know how it'd be good in duels. It seems like it would be really hard to make good. It's a good little board clear aggro stopper. So if you're playing some sort of like control-y Demon Hunter, or maybe face Demon Hunter, kind of can go in both, but I just don't think it's a very good card. Out of a scale of 10, I'll give it a 5. 5 is the average here, right? It's alright. You'll find it, you'll discover it, and enjoy it if you discover it. But I don't think you're putting it in your main deck in really anything. Next one. Astral Depths. Draw 4 mana. Abyssal Adepts. Draw your 2 lowest cost minions. Now, this is one of those cards that the more cards that are in Standard, it gets better. So, I think whenever it first comes out, it might be powerful if you have the right 2 minions, but eventually in its standard time, this will be a powerful card. So I'll say to start off in Standard, whenever there's like 4 sets, it's going to be like a 4 out of 10, because there's not going to be really any combos out of it. But I'm sure next year it'll be like a 7 out of 10. It'll be a pretty important part of like a combo Demon Hunter. Especially whenever we're talking about another card in Demon Hunter that's coming up really soon. Alright, but the next one, 2 mana Wayward Sage. Outcast, reduced the left and rightmost cards in your hand by 1. It's a 2 mana 2/2. That's bare stats. It's alright. It's not 2/3. It's not as good in Arena as it would be as a 2/3, but it's not bad. Especially with the 1 mana hero power, you're able to trade up pretty easily in Arena. The effect's alright. It's not the best. It's not like a whole hand. You know, it's not a palm reading. But I'd say it's not a bad card. It'll be good in an aggressive Demon Hunter, maybe the Quest Demon Hunter. Ooh, that'll be pretty interesting to see, I think, in the Quest Demon Hunter if they play that. But otherwise, it's a 4 out of 10. I don't think it's gonna see any play. I don't think it's gonna see, maybe unless it's something very specific. Maybe you're trying to discount specific cards, but it's really hard to target just the left and right, especially the right. All right, so Coilscar Commander, 6 mana. 2/6 taunt. If you cast 3 spells while holding this, summon 2 copies of this, and it's a Naga, the new minion type. So obviously that's just important in itself. But if you cast 3 spells while holding it, summon 2 copies of it. So it's a 6 mana. So if you fulfill the request, it's 3 2/6s. 6 mana, 3 2/6. That's a lot of numbers. If you are the controlling demon hunter, maybe this is something like a roadblock in the big demon hunter that they seem to be pushing. It's not a demon, so you can't cheat it out. Honestly, I think it'd be C play if there's like a controlling demon hunter. But now, I guess I didn't give the whatchamacallit. That's honestly 6 out of 10. Once it finds its place in standard, it'll be good where it is. But it has to be in a very specific place. All right, Lady Stheno, you know, you got it. 3 mana, 2/4, immune while attacking. We know immune is powerful due to how powerful Onyxia is from the mini set. So with that just as a baseline, 3 mana, 2/4 immune while attacking, that's fantastic. That's whenever you want to be immune most of the time. And then there's even more bonus text. After you cast a spell, attack the lowest health enemy. That's really, really good. It clears their board. It's an aggro stopper. So if you're like you're a control demon hunter, kind of tempo demon hunter, you need to take the board back. Boom. You do that and Eye Blast. That takes out the thing that you did the Eye Blast to, and then you just cast coin, something else. This is like turn 4. That's not a bad turn 4. And there's also OTK implications here. Especially with the quest, because you can get that down to 0 crit. You can get it down to 1, I think, with the quest. And oh man, I don't know. I'm just excited about this card. I wanna see how good this card is gonna be good in duels, especially with like the tempo spell demon hunter. The first 3 games are gonna be miserable against demon hunter if they like high roll. I wonder if the quest demon hunter is going to be good in duels now. I definitely want to try it out. This is an 8 out of 10 here. I really, really like this card. It's so interesting. There's so many applications for it. You can put it in aggro. You can put it in control. You can give it, I don't know if you can give it lifesteal, but you can buff it, obviously. What are some other insights that I can bring here? It's odd. So in Wild, you can put it in Odd Demon Hunter, which is interesting. I don't know if you're playing that, but it's good with Twin Slice. I think that's enough gushing about this card. I think pretty good card though. So now to another Demon Hunter card, Azran Defector. Rush, Death Rattle, put a Sunken Defector on the top of your deck, on the bottom of your deck, and it's a 4 mana 5/3. That's Rush. Ooh, that's good baseline right there. That's just, you're trading up a minion most of the time with 4 mana 5/3. Yeah, I don't think there are many 6 health 4 mana things. Not ringing any bells yet. Oh, hey, that Demon Hunter thing. So it's good at blocking that from other Demon Hunters. But otherwise, yeah, great card, just baseline stats wise. But the Summon Defector, what does that do? It's a 4 mana charge. After this minion attacks, deal 5 damage to a random enemy minion. That's actually super nuts. That's really worth it. That's a good removal spell. So I would look at this more like a removal spell that gives you something to finish off the game. Also it gets summoned by that like Death Rattle package that they put in Demon Hunter way back when. And I think that's still in standard. So this is just a very, very interesting card, especially with the Sunken Treasure. Since I know Demon Hunter can draw a lot of cards, I'm not worried about them getting this. I guess I would just be worried. I wonder what dredge synergies they have, if any, outside of this. All right. Multi-strike. This is actually a Demon Hunter spell. That is 1 mana. Give your hero 2 attack this turn, so it's a twin slice. They may attack an additional enemy minion. And it's a fel spell. Something I think twin slice is not, question mark. But yeah, this is technically, this is actually twin slice on steroids. If you need to attack 2 things, it's only okay. Twin slice if you just need to do it once, if you just need to attack 1 minion that turn. Otherwise, I think it's a decent card. Great that it's a fel spell. That's actually nuts that that's a fel spell, because it can be recast by Jace. This card has potential. That card has potential. Oh, and I forgot to give a rating to Azran Defector. This card is going to be, let's give it a 6, because it's got opportunity. It just needs, I think it just needs performance behind it. I just need to see it in action, but you can't say bad things about a 4-mana 5/3 being shuffled into your deck. All right. Back on thread here. Multi-strike. What do I give that? What do I give multi-strike? Twin Slice is a good card, but that's also because it gives you another card. I'd say if your deck struggles against like minions, and you need like an extra, you know what? I'll give this a 7. No, a 7 out of 10. A 7 out of 10. It's decent, and I think Demon Hunter will play it because they need to kill minions. Let's go to the last one. Zalag of the Abyss. That's my guess. And it's a 7-mana 3/6 that has Colossal 4. So it summons 4 of these Zalag stalks. I guess he's a big tentacle monster. And it's at the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. That's pretty good. That's baseline. That could help clear minions that you set up at 1 health. It's just a lot of face damage if they don't have any minions. And it's a lot of face damage if his ability at the start of your turn increased the damage. Whoa, it's the damage, not the attack. The damage of the stalks by 1. Oh, they need to like answer this. This is very much like the that priest treasure in Duels, the 4-mana Touch of the Void. Something like that, where it summons all the things that suck your blood. This is like that on crack. And as long as Zalag lives, those stocks are going to be big problems. And it's a demon. Very, very big that it's a demon. And if you summon it from any of these like big summoning effects, you get the stocks. And this is the card that I think Big Demon Hunter needed. It needed a bunch of threats instead of just a bunch of one small big threats, because a lot of decks can just deal with just one big thing. They can't really deal with like a medium thing and a bunch of small things. I think that's one of the harder things every deck has trouble doing. So this card, I think this is the best card in Demon Hunter, obviously. It's the legendary. This is the 9. This is just, I love the Big Demon Hunter archetype, and I think the Big Demon archetype is going to be seeing some experimentation now, and I hope it works out. I'll definitely be trying it in Duels because they have that one that summons 3 things from your deck, 3 demons from your deck. It's going to be a slam dunk in Duels. I don't know about Constructed, though. If Demon Hunter is good, it'll be good in Constructed. I'll say that. So that's Demon Hunter. That is Demon Hunter. I guess we kind of got the quirks out of here. We kind of have a format now. We kind of have a way to figure out how I talk about all these cards. So let's take a break. I'm going to take a sip of my tea real quick. Hold on. Okay. 1 second. Oh my god. Is that better? Yeah, that's better.
That's nice. So now we're gonna get to Druid. And I guess we just start from where it tells me on the screen. We're just doing left to right on the spoiler screen. So let's start off with Bottom Feeder. A 1 mana, 1/3 for Druid. That says Death Rattle, add a Bottom Feeder to the bottom of your deck with a permanent 2/2. A lot of people in the community are like, oh, is this the new Jade Idol? And no, it's not the new Jade Idol. It's what's that legendary that shuffled itself in its deck in the deck? I can't remember. It's like a big deer moose thing. I would think it's like a 1 mana version of that. Either that or what's the other card? I can compare it to the Frenzy Raptor or something that's in Hunter that buffs itself and shuffles a copy of it into the deck. Except that's not infinite. This one is. But this is very immune. This is very vulnerable to silence effects. It's a 1 mana 1/3. That's good stats. It's one that Dire Mole was played. It's fine, but I don't think it's like Jade Idol level. I'll get, and you know what? It's got premium stats for a 1-drop, so I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. But I think that's even too generous. I think this card is overrated. I don't think it's cool. It's whatever. But I think there are cooler Druid cards, especially. So 0 mana, aquatic form, Dredge. If you have the mana to play the card this turn, draw it. That is an awesome fucking card. That is so cool. It helps you access. I mean, I guess it helps you access your Bottom Feeder, but that bottom feeder is like the bottom of what I would want to do with this card. One sec. Oh, what can you do? There's probably a lot of neutral dredging stuff. And if you have the mana to play that, and this card is gonna see play in any spell-based druid, any druid that wants to get their treasure really fast. I really can't gush about this card. It's just really, really solid, and it'll enable a lot of things. It's just basically draw a card if you really want to play the card. Sometimes it's not a draw card. It's just 0 mana dredge, and that is putting yourself down a card. But if you play this at the right time in Druid, Druids have a lot of mana. Most of the time, it's gonna be just upside. Yeah, and I guess the rate, I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. I think you're gonna see this in Druid. You're gonna see this in duels. You're gonna see this in standard. You're gonna see this in wild, maybe. I don't know where you'd see it in wild, but I'm sure there's some applications. It's just a 0 mana spell. 0 mana spells are very, very, very powerful. You can just play it as a 0 mana dredge if you just need to like even out your draws. Yeah, this is a great card. Love it. Can't wait to see it in action. Alright, and then another spell for our druids. It's 1 mana, Azron Guardians. Give all minions in your hand +1/+1 and put a Sunken Gardens on the top of your deck. So what is a Sunken Garden? Sunken Garden, give 1/1 to all minions in your hand, deck, and battlefield. That's pretty juice. I like that. I like that a lot. That's cool. That's definitely a token druid card. I know a lot of token stuff is leaving standard for druid, so it's really gonna have to start with like our bottom feeders and other really low cost value generation spells. But once there's a core to the token druid, this card is going to be very, very good in it. Especially if you're playing aquatic form. I think aquatic form is not an awful card. I really do think these two cards that I talked about will synergize, but for right now, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10 until until I either see it in work or till I see a good token druid package, I might have to update that rating after I talk about more of these cards, because this is really just me freshly looking at the cards. I tried to stay as fresh as possible from spoiler season. Of course, I couldn't avoid some of them, but I really, really wanted to give y'all like my raw thoughts here. So let's see. Flipper Friends. 5 mana, choose one, summon a 6/6 Orca with Taunt, or a 6/1/1 Otters with Rush. Okay, well. That plus the card I talked about just before, the Gardens. Pretty good. That's a combo. It's a nature spell. Nature spell that's really, really relevant for duels. As you can synergize. Wow, that's really good with the Iron Roots. This card is just going to be really good to discover. I don't think it's going to be in really many main decks. It could be in Standard. I don't know what the power level of Standard is going to look like. Maybe there's going to be a Token Druid in Standard. But this is a good start to a Token Druid, or just like a big defensive tool for Druid. They have Rush, so that's just super defensive. You know, if they didn't have Rush, I'd be worried about it, but they don't. So they do. So I'm very, very excited about this card. It's not going to be good yet. I don't think it's going to pop off. We're going to see it in a couple of discoverables that we take. That's about it. So I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. It's just pretty medium right now, but could see improvement. Alright, this card, Miracle Growth, 7 mana, draw 3 cards, summon a plant with taunt and stats equal to your hand size. I like that. This is a very cool, because I think Overflow is rotating. It might be, I'm not sure. But if Overflow is rotating, this is a very good substitute for it. Because with a full... because with a full hand, you are able to make a 10/10. And that is just really, really good value. 9/9, 8/8. All of these are good stats for draw 3, make a giant. Basically, a giant with taunt. There'll definitely have to be a deck. Well, you know, with Guff. You know what? With Guff being in Standard still, this is just absolutely bonkers. I think this is going to go in any controlling style Druid deck, and they're just going to enjoy having it. It's a reload that Druid really doesn't have. It's kind of a replacement for Nourish, because it's just one more than Nourish, and it draws another card and creates a little bit more value. Yeah, let's give this card. This card's a 7, a 7 out of 10. It'll be crucial in the Druid deck it's in, and will probably lead to a lot of wins because of it. And the Druid Legendary, Hedra the Heretic, it's going to be for each spell you've cast while holding this, summon a minion of that spell's cost. This is like a Shutterwalk-ish version. Wow, each spell you've cast while holding this, summon a minion of that spell's cost. So this is obviously in the big spell Druid, but you don't really have to just play big spells. You can play a couple spells, and it won't be interrupted that much. You only have 7 slots on your board, so and the minion and Hedra, oh my god, and Hedra is obviously one of them on the board. So it'll be hard to get like the best pile most of the time if you have small ones, but I mean, that's a good. It's a good board filler, and maybe this is a token Druid card and not a big spell Druid card. I'm starting to think about it now, like that they wipe your board and then you play this plus I don't know, small buff, and can they wipe your board again? This card is really good. I think this card I think is actually a 10 out of a 10 for a Druid. It'll probably be one of the most played legendaries in Standard. I'll definitely be seeing something like this if they nerf Spectre of Summoning in duels. I'm very interested in this. I like it. This is the best card in Druid so far. And then another Druid legendary, Kala Q. whatever. 7 mana, 6/5, colossal +1, immune while you control the shell, and the shell says taunt, death rattle, gain 8 armor. It's pretty good. That's really good. 0 mana, 5 mana, well, not 5 mana, but 0/8 taunt. That's really hard for aggro decks to get through, and immune is a really, really powerful effect. Like, we have been shown time and time again with Onyxia. Like, people still try to target my Onyxia with spells, and they're like, oh, you can't. Really, really good. People don't sleep on immune. This is almost as good. I think this is almost as good as Hedra. Druid really got some decent cards this rotation. This is a 9 out of 10. This isn't better than Hedra, I think, but it's a very good, very interesting tool for Druid. So now we're in Hunter. And so in Hunter, to start off, we have a 3/3. 3 mana. Naga's Pride. Summon 2/2 Lionfish. If you played a Naga while holding this, give them +1/+1. That's awesome. That's an awesome tempo spell. Druid played this 3 mana summon 2 tree ants. This is just that, but better. If you have a Naga curve somehow, this is. I've heard people make comparisons to this as a petting zoo, but it really is just on curve petting zoo. And I talk the gospel about just summoning 2 3/3s. You don't need to get max value out of that thing. 2 3/3s for 3 is just. But even 2/2s is fine. That's on curve. That's like a base card. So this is just a solid like 6 out of 10, 6, 7 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10. Let's do that. You know what? All right, and to our next card. 4 mana, 3/3, Ad Sheeran, Saber. 4 mana, 3/3, Rush, Death Rattle. Put a Sunken Saber on the bottom of your deck. And what does the Sunken Saber do? 4 mana, Death Rattle, Rush, Death Rattle, summon a beast from your deck. This card's good. And this is a pretty decent card for a big beast hunter. Obviously, you need to only run one of these, or you can have to draw both of them before you're summoning guaranteed big things. But honestly, I think this is it's pretty mediocre on the stats. But so since it's pretty mediocre on the stats, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10, because there will be a beast hunter, but it's gotta prove itself. It's gotta be made in the following expansion. Most of these big build around decks aren't gonna be good in this small 4 set format. What else can I say about this? Otherwise, I think it's gonna be a good card. It's just not a good card, especially in standard right now. Alright, we get a new secret, actually. And it's a 2 mana secret that's emergency maneuvers. And it's secret. Whenever a friendly minion dies, summon a copy of it. It's dormant for 1 turn. That's awesome. That is redemption for Hunter. And redemption kind of sucks because they can just kill the minion that you summon with your secret right then. But this is actually this is really good because it does it as dormant, and they can't even touch dormant minions. Especially if you have like a minion that you for sure want to live for 1 more turn. I'd say play this. This is perfect for these minion decks that really want to disincentivize trading or get value out of people trading with their minions instead of maybe going face or something. Great card. I think this is just a 7 out of 10. I don't know what deck it would go into immediately. It's not popping into my head, but I can see the value of Dormant 1 for Dormant is a very powerful effect. Yeah, I guess that's enough about that. And now we have a 1 mana spell for Hunter. And it's 1 mana Barb Nets, deal 2 damage to an enemy. If you played a Naga while holding this,
Choose a second target. That's pretty nice. That's just value off of Arcane Shot. Obviously, Arcane Shot's probably leaving in the core set, and yeah, this helps you no matter what. It's bolt. You know, what I mean, it's a shock. It's so good. If you know how good, whatchamacallit, the 1 mana Arcane Shot is, this is that times 2. That's the simplified way of saying it. And since I'm saying it that way, this is just above average at a 6 out of 10. It's alright. It's not dog shit, but it's not amazing either. Alright, now let's get to this card. This card, the discussion around this card made me roll my eyes. So it's a 2 mana, 2/3 Naga. After you cast a spell, deal damage equal to its cost to the enemy hero. And people are like, "Oh, we just got rid of Face Hunter. Oh, this is the thing that's gonna kill us." And it's fine, but like, how many big spells are you playing in Hunter? Yeah, you have the shot that deals excess damage to the hero, but that's like the best card to play with this. What are the other cards? You're playing that 1 mana thing. Are you playing a Naga's Pride, 5 mana? That's a 5 mana turn you get. That's not a bad one. Honestly, this Raj Nazan is a really good combo with Naga's Pride, because you play Raj and then you have the minions. You have the minions that you summon with +1/+1. I think this is going to be fine. It's not going to be oppressive. I think this is going to be an awesome card that really gives Face Hunter, or really any value hunter, a way to finish off their opponents. Because this could be part of like a big spell hunter and give those 10 mana spells a really, really like useful way. Because it says deal its cost to an enemy hero. It doesn't say random enemy. It's a hero. So we know we're getting that guaranteed value to the face. This, I don't know if it's an autocraft, but this is a 9 out of 10. This is like one of the best cards in the set for Hunter. Again, it's a legendary, obviously. But you're going to see a lot of people winning games with this card. But I don't think it's going to be as much as these other people are already complaining about Face Hunter about. And let's talk about this card. 4 mana, Twin Bow Terracoil. Battle Cry, if you cast a spell while holding this, your next spell casts twice. That's great. I think, again, big spell Demon Hunter. Think Nagrand's Slam. I don't know. What's another big spell for To My Side? Imagine a To My Side that's doubled. You know, and yeah, you can talk about all the smaller spells that get a discount that you can double up, but ooh, actually Naga's Pride is not bad to double up. You know what? I'm just saying, because Naga's Pride is a good card. I don't know what I said it was, but it's going to be an 8 out of 10. I changed that. But with this Twin Bow Terracoil, it's going to be part of the same package, obviously. 7 out of 10. This card's a pretty good card. Once it finds its niche, it will be very powerful, because doubling things is so powerful in Hearthstone, or in any game, really. And that's Hunter, I think. So let's do Mage. Let's start with Mage, but I gotta take a sip of my tea real quick. And by a sip, I mean chug it. Alright, so let's get to Mage. Mage looks exciting. I kind of overlooked it. And let's start with Trench Surveyor. 2 mana, 3/2, so that's decent stats already. Battle Cry, Dredge. And again, Dredge is not card advantage. It's if you're not doing anything, it's not any advantage at all except card selection, which is like half a card. But if it's a mech, draw it. That's awesome. I love that kind of deck building. I love that tribal deck building that Hearthstone lets you do. You put your deck full of one thing, and then you're like, I need this thing, and you play the card that grabs the thing that you need, and you grab it because you built your deck right.
So if you build your deck right and you have a bunch of mechs, this is 2 mana, 3/2 draw a card. And what more do you want from that? That's just, that's like some of the best value you can get from a 2 mana 3/2. That's aggressive strats too. You want to see aggressive mech mage? This card's gonna be really good. Well, I think this card's gonna be really, really good come the next year. Just because of the baseline power of it. Sometimes it does nothing. At least it brings at least it gives you like half a card in your hand. You get to choose a card. Enough gushing. This card, 8 out of 10, because it helps enable. It doesn't win you games, but it helps enable the mech package, especially in mage. I really, really love seeing anything like that's not spell or freeze mage. I hate that identity of mage. I'm really glad they're starting to get good minions like this. Let's see. 4 mana. Spite Lash Siren. After you play a Naga, refresh 2 mana crystals. Then switch to spell. Oh, that makes sense. I read this once and I didn't get it. I'm like, then switch what to spell? Switch the Siren to a spell? That doesn't make any sense. It's on the game. But, so, it actually has 2 modes. And if this were a dual face cards, it would say flip this card after you do that. And it's after you play a mana crystal, after you play a spell, refresh 2 mana crystals. And vice versa. Is there any combo potential for this? Probably not. Probably not. There are enough powerful Nagas, I don't think, to keep a whole like OTK chain going. Maybe someone can prove me wrong. But this is if you want to play like the tempo Naga mage and just play kind of like a burn spell mage with Nagas in it, I would say it's pretty good. It's just refresh. It's not gain 2 this turn. So there is always a ceiling on this. It's best at 10 mana, obviously. And 2/5, 4 mana 2/5, that survives the turn if you want to like tempo it out. But it is a very high value target. I'd keep an eye on this card. I'd keep an eye on it. I don't think it's game breaking, so it's like a 6 out of let's do a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10, that's fine. It'll be good eventually, hopefully, right? That effect's just there. If they keep on printing more Nagas, it'll be good eventually in Wild, right? All right, 2 mana, Volcanomancy. Choose a minion. When it dies, deal 3 damage to all other minions. This is a cool card. This is a card that you can play actually proactively to keep people from like doing something that you don't want. It's not just a burn spell that kills something. You can either put this on a like a 1/1 minion and then hero power it and then deal 3 to everything, or you can put it on a minion you don't want your opponents attacking or killing and threatening to trade with their board, and it decentivizes them from attacking said minion. There's a lot of mind game. I feel like there's a lot of like game to play with this card. I don't know how good it is, but there's definitely a lot of game to play with it and a lot of clever ways to use it. And I think it just has to be seen in action and in order to see its like really true high potential. But it's a fire spell. I'm kind of terrified of any fire spell now in duels because of the flame waves mage. But other than me having post-traumatic stress disorder in duels, this card is really cool, and I hope it's gonna be a 6 out of 10. Oh, it's gonna be a 6 out of 10. Maybe higher, maybe lower. I just needed to see it in action. This is one of these cards that I can't really rate blind, but it's really cool. It's a cool card. Let's go. Commander Sivara. This is the legendary for mage. It's a 4 mana 3/4. If you've cast 3 spells while holding this, add those spells back to your hand. That's really, really cool. Oh. 1 second. We're here. Okay. Let's talk about this one again. Let's recut it. Commander Sivara, it's a 4-mana 3/5 battle cry. If you cast 3 spells while holding this, add those spells back to your hand. So I wonder if it, like, it's the first 3 spells that you cast. Or, yeah. I guess it just keeps track of them. I wonder if there's going to be, like, a reminder or something in your hand. You can just do burn spell, burn spell, burn spell to face, and then burn spell, burn spell, burn spell to face again. Or you can actually, like, use your burn spells, like, defensively the first time around, play Sivara, and then hit them face, and they're dead. This is a really interesting card. There's a lot of cool things you can do it, and getting back spells, buying back your spells is, like, especially in Mage, one of the most valuable things you can do. You can get a lot. You can get Frost Novas back. You can get Blizzards back. This is going to be a really annoying card. I don't think it's going to be as annoying as Freeze Professor. I can't remember her name. But I think it's going to have those kind of vibes. At this card, 7 out of 10. It'll be in any deck, any Mage deck that plays 3 spells. Alright. So, another card. It's a 3-mana Mecha Shark. Love that. After you summon a mech, deal 3 damage randomly split across all enemies. A 3-mana 4/3 that has that. That's a Flame Waker or whatever. This card, nuts. This card will see play in every single Mech Mage deck. It will see play in Arena like crazy if you draft a bunch of mechs. I don't know what I can say about it. It's good stats, good effect, solid 7 out of 10. You're going to be playing it you can draw it with Trench Surveyor. Maybe there's a Mech Mage in Wild somewhere. I don't know about that. But very, very interesting cards. Very, very interesting card. Alright, so we're back to a spell, and it's a 2-mana Gift of Azaria. Draw a card if you played a Naga while holding this, and then do it again. So it's 2 mana, draw 2 if you have played a Naga. So you're playing kind of like a half Naga, half spell mage. It just depends how good all the Nagas are. And from what I've seen, even just one Naga is pretty good. Like there are 2 good mage Nagas. Yeah, I think this is just people played what was it, the one that's improved by spell damage, and they just play Blood Mage Thalanos plus this. Yeah, fine. It's good. It's a good 5 out of this is a 5 out of 10. You know, the decks that can play it will play it. Like the heavy Naga deck. I just don't know if there's going to be a Naga deck yet. I haven't seen the core set, and I think we're going to have to see the core set and able to see that. Alright, and we're at another legendary, and it's an 8-mana mech, Gaia the Tectonic. That's a funny pun there. And it's after a friendly mech attacks, deal 1 damage to all enemies, and it's Colossal 2. So you get 2 Colossal. Whoa! You get 2 Gaia's drills, and they're 2/3s with Rush. So they summon on both sides of Gaia, and that's like 4 damage to like 2 specific things, or 1 specific thing. Like that's a lot of damage. This is especially if you have other mechs. If you have a full board of mechs, or like a board of like 4 mechs, and then play this, and then you just attack everything. Oh, that's so good. This is a good finisher for the mech mage deck. It's very interesting, very powerful effect. It sweeps, like a full board of mechs basically sweeps any board of minions. This card is nuts. But it's just going to be an 8 out of 10, I think. I don't think you're getting to 8 mana as often as you think you are. I don't know if the aggressive mage deck is going to be a thing, but I really, really want to see aggro mech mage a thing. It's just, this card is too cool not to include it. Okay, I stopped recording, but we're back. Azron Sweeper. It's going to be a 3-mana, 3/4. Battlecry, put a Sunken Sweeper on the bottom of your deck. What is a Sunken Sweeper? Wow. So Sunken Sweeper is 3 mana, 3/4, add 3 random mechs to your hand. That is a awesome refill as a mech. And that synergizes super well with the Trench Surveyor. You have to play kind of off curve in order to get this, but if mech has another good 2 mana play, you can do 2 mana. You can do this on 3. This on 3. Put the Sunken Sweeper on the bottom of your deck. Play the Trench Surveyor, grab it, and then you're in Value City at that point. In Wild, it's really good because you can get all these magnetic mechs, and it's real interesting. And the last card in Mage is a Spell Coiler. Battle Cry, 2 mana, 2/3. Battle Cry, if you cast a spell while holding this, discover a spell. That's just draw a card. 2 mana, 2/3, draw a card. Solid. You can't play it on curve and draw a card, but I don't think you're playing this on curve if you have like defensive spells that you want to play. That you can actually play if you're playing against an aggro deck and you've got the 1-drop against an aggro, you do this, then you can curve out. This is a decent 5 out of 10 here. Decent 5 out of 10. And yeah, it's great in Arena too. That's Mage. Oh my god, we have so much more. We have so much more here. This is a lengther here. This is a huge lengther. Alright. So now, Paladin. We have 3 mana. Azron Mooncatcher. Divine Shield, Battle Cry. Put a Sunken Mooncatcher on the bottom of your deck. 3 mana, 4/2. So it can die pretty easily. Huh. It's a 3 mana Divine Shield. Summon a copy of this. Battle Cry. 4/2 mech. That's a good Sunken card. That's really good value for the mech Paladin. And the mech Paladin, I know, has a lot of good stuff. This is pristine value right here, because it's going to take more than one form of resource to kill this in one turn. And especially if you can get 2 of those on the board on curve, like maybe you play that on turn 3, and maybe you play this on turn 3, and then you can dredge on turn 4, and then play that on turn 5 plus another 2-drop. You're doing really good. They're going to be having a really hard time clearing your board as the aggressive deck. So with that being said, it's going to be a good aggressive card. 7 out of 10. Good in the aggressive mech Paladin deck. It's almost like a goody 2 shields in a way, on 2 bodies instead of 1 spellburst body. So now we have a legendary for Paladin. It's a 7 mana 4/5, the Leviathan. It's a mech, rush, Divine Shield. After this attacks, dredge. So automatically already like almost after this attacks, draw half a card. And this is well, and then on the bottom half, the claw, it's rush, Divine Shield. After this attacks, draw a card. So you're drawing 1.5 cards here, and you're drawing 1 really good card if you're dredging before you draw. This card is nuts. It's a mech. This is a good top end to the aggro mech deck. Rush, Divine Shield, and it's a 2/4. Yeah, see, 4/2. That's a big stat line in Paladin right now, apparently. So yeah, this is great. This is really dandy. You're gonna get destroyed by this in Arena. This is just great. It helps you win back the board. Draws cards. That's not a thing Paladin has a lot, so this is gonna be. I'm very interested to see how this is. This is gonna be an 8 out of 10 for me. I really like the idea of dredging and drawing a card. I think that's just a cool thing that they put in the game. All right. So now this card I saw, and I actually wanted to make a comparison to a magic card. So this is a 2 mana radar detector. Scan the bottom 5 cards of your deck. Draw any mechs found this way and shuffle your deck. So there's a card, I think it's called in Magic Lead, the Stampede. Hold on. Stampede. Yeah, see, it says, look at the top 5 cards of your library, reveal any creature cards from among them, and put the revealed cards into your hand. The rest on the bottom. And this card is exactly the same card as this magic card, with 30 less cards in your deck. So this card is going to be really, really good if you fill your deck with a bunch of mechs. If you're like 75% mechs, you're drawing, I'll do the math. This is not good math, but if you're like 75% mechs, you're drawing 3 mechs with this card no matter what. Basically, not no matter what, but like on a average. And this Lead the Stampede card is about the same thing as this card, and it was really good in Magic, where card draw is even harder to get. So, that being said, this card is actually a 10 out of 10. This is actually the 10 out of 10 spell in Paladin. I think it's going to draw, this card, historically, is going to draw so many cards, so many mechs, especially if people are building their decks correctly. I'm really, really excited for this card because Paladin needed a really cool, like really restricted draw effect like this. Alright, and here is a very interesting holy spell. Obviously there is a holy spell sub-theme in Paladin always. And this Immortalize in Stone, 7 mana, summon a 1/2, a 2/4, and a 4/8 elemental with taunt. It's just a bunch of big boy, like it goes from small, medium to semi-large, and these are just diversified threats that you can't take out in one swoop, except if you have like a Twisting Nether. And I think this is a great defensive tool to get off of your Discover Holy Effects. This is a great tool for if there's anything that I think we're about to see a card that cares about this. It's just a good defensive tool. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's really interesting and really annoying. So I'm going to give this a good 6 out of 10. A good 6 out of 10. And be happy about it. Maybe it's better, maybe it's worse. Maybe it's either a 6 or a 4. And maybe 4 I can be put in, like, if you discover it, it's okay. You know what? No, this is a 4. This is a little bit below average, but if you find it in a Discover bin, you'll be happy. So that's about it here. And what about Seafloor Savior? It's a 2 mana 2/2 Battlecry Dredge. If it's a minion, give it this minion's attack and health. So this is obviously more hand buff synergy, which I think is awesome how they keep on incorporating it in small ways. And dredging, again, half a card. It's not a full card. It's a half a card. And you get to know what your next draw is. You get to pick your next draw. Oh man, I love dredge as a mechanic. It is so interesting. It leads to probably a lot of interesting decisions and a lot of interesting deck building, because I feel like you can be a little bit greedier if you have a bunch of dredge in your deck. So this is a solid card to play on curve. This is fine to play in arena. It's good to, I don't know if we're going to be playing this in you know what? We could be playing this in duels. Maybe Mech Paladin in duels is just nuts. So I'm excited to see the future here. This is a cool card. These are a lot of cool cards here. Alright, now. Oh, this card, this is a 3 out of 10. Interesting. It probably won't do anything, though. Let's see. The Guardian's Grace. It's a 10 mana Paladin spell. I don't think Paladin's gotten a 10 mana spell yet. Give a minion +5/+5 in Divine Shield. Cost 1 less for each mana you spent on holy spells this game. This is really good with this card. Really, really good, because that's automatically makes it a 3/3, and then you can buff up one of your elementals that you do, because you've obviously played other holy spells during this game. This card is really good if the holy spells, if there's a lot of holy spells made, and if they're playable, because Librams are leaving, so I wonder what design space they have to put holy spells in your Paladin decks. It's obviously super good in duels. I think the holy spell Paladin will finally gain its traction in duels, and I can't wait to see it. This is honestly just a very medium card, though. I think it's a 5/5. It needs to prove itself, but I think once it's proven itself, it can move up or down. Let's see. 2 mana, Paladin Legendary, Katori Lightblade. After you cast a holy spell on this, cast it on another friendly minion. It's really good with the Guardian's Grace. This is also another push to the holy spell Paladin. If it's going to be good, it's going to be good because of these 2 cards. That combo is kind of wombo, kind of wonky. So what? You can do this plus 0 mana Guardians and a Mr. Smite, and have a Pyroblast on a stick. There's a lot of cool things you can do with holy spells, especially with Katori, and I'm very interested. This is an interesting card to me. I like it. This is the best card in Paladin. This is the best card in Paladin, just because I think it's gonna enable holy spell Paladin. Y'all won't believe me. This might be my satirical April Fools, but 10 out of 10. So good. Look at that. You're gonna see the trolled in clips. Don't worry. And last but not least, 3 mana, 2/5, Shimmering Sunfish. Battlecry. If you're holding a holy spell, gain Taunt and Divine Shield. This is fine. This is a 4 out of 10. It's all right. It's a good defensive card. If you have the holy spell, you're gonna get good defense. Not much I can say about it. We've seen it before. We've seen the requirement gain the Griffin. If you're holding a dragon, do it. If there's not a big poison, this is really good for the holy spell. You can buff it up. It's got a fat butt. You can heal it if it gets damaged. Not much I can say about it though. You'll be fine if you find it off of Discover. And that's it for Paladin and Priest. We have let's start off with Azron Ritual. 4 mana, silence a minion, and summon a copy of it. Put a Sunken Ritual on the bottom of your deck. And it's just a Sunken Ritual, silence a minion, and summon 2 copies of it. That's fine. That's alright. I like the silence effect in Priest. I really like the silence and summon a copy, because it actually doesn't deal with it if it's just a really fat minion. But if it's like a really buffed minion, it's seriously like almost a removal spell. It really just depends how buff heavy the standard format is. If it's going to be running around with a bunch of these paladins, or if it's just going to be playing aggressive decks like Hunter. This is going to be good. I don't know. This is like a 4 out of 10 in my opinion. Summon 2 copies of it. At that point, you're up. But I don't know. We'll see how this is really only as good as the minions that are hitting the battlefield around it. So this is a 4 out of 10 until we see what standard looks like right now. Maybe with the colossal minions, this is like super good. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. 5 out of 10 if you can hit a colossal minion and you get their stuff. All right. And this card, I saw this card, it made me want to roll my eyes. 9 mana. Destroy all minions and all copies of them, wherever they are. Twisting Nether that gets rid of all my mountain giants. I don't like that. That makes me sad. That makes me so sad. I really hope people don't play this card. I really hope this is not a popular card, because this card will just eat decks sometimes. And it's hard to play around. This card's like a 5 out of 10 power-wise, because it's just worse. It's just a Twisting Nether with kind of an upside. But I don't want it to be good. I really don't want it to be good. It's a nature spell in Priest, which is weird. Not much else I can say about it. I'm kind of disgusted just even looking at this card. Now here's another disgusting card. Priestess Valige. And Battle Cry. 0 mana, 1/1. Battle Cry, refresh an empty mana crystal for each spell you've cast this turn. That's really good, especially in like the tornado gun priest. I wonder if this is gonna go in to like Raza Priest and Wild. It's a legendary. It seems interesting. You can kind of machine gun people to death there. I don't know what application it will have in standard. If there is any way you can set up like an OTK with this. Right now in standard, in Wild, this is like a 10 out of 10. This will probably end up fucking up Wild somehow. But in standard and lower power level, this is probably pretty good in like ping mage and ping priest and duels. But in standard, I don't see any application of it right now. So like 5 out. Nah, that's like a 2 out of 10 in standard and 10 out of 10 in Wild. 3 mana, Handmaiden. Battlecry. If you cast 3 spells while holding this, draw 3 cards. That's really, really good, because Priest does not have a hard time casting spells. And they have a harder time drawing cards. This obviously takes space in your hand, so you can't cast as many spells. But I feel like most of the time, if you build your deck right and you want to have some Naga synergy, this'll be there. This will be one of those cards that if you need a Naga in there, it's gonna be a 4 out of 3. It's gonna be okay. You know, 4 out of 10. It's gonna be okay. I need to see this one in action. It might be decent in like a duels deck. I might have to do some science on this. But for right now, you know what? Yeah, for right now, this is a 4 out of 10. This is a 4 out of 10 right now. Alright, here is Priest Colossal Legendary. It's an 8 mana, 8/10 with lifesteal. And it summons a Behemoth Lure, and at the end of your turn, force a random enemy to attack Blackwater Behemoth. That's pretty good. That's a lot of lifesteal. That's a lot of just swing. That's a lot of health. This card is going to be really annoying when you're the aggro deck and they just keep on rezzing this minion. This minion honestly compares to the one that munches, I can't remember that name. The one that eats the minion, a random enemy minion. This has the same vibes, but lifesteal, so it helps you survive longer instead of getting you tempo. If there's a Res Priest, this is playing it, because it keeps on getting lures. Not much else I can say about this. Good card, 9 out of 10. For Priest, I think that's what they needed. That's the swing they needed for maybe against aggro decks if there's going to be a control Priest. 3 mana, Switcheroo. Draw 2 minions, swap their stats. So, what you can do is have a deck half full of 0 mana creatures and half full of fat creatures, and play the Switcheroo. And then maybe you can have a 0 mana 12/12. Maybe. This deck is obviously a meme card. You know, Mark obviously is going to be doing something about it. I hope I see some of the magic happen. I'm just not going to be doing it. I don't think it's a worthwhile card. Interesting, draw 2 minions. That's something Priest doesn't get, so keep a lookout for this card. It might be good. Oh, 3 out of 10 right now. My application, I can't see any crazy shit with it. 1 mana Serpent's Wig. Give a minion +1/+1. If you played a Naga while holding this, add a Serpent's Wig to your hand. Honestly, I like this card as a tempo Priest card. And again, I said if there's a Naga based deck, I think I'm gonna have to look at all the commons to see if Nagas work. Honestly, this is gonna be a very crucial part, I think, of the tempo of the Nagas deck against other aggro decks in standard. So this is a 7 out of 10 card in standard. Probably not in Wild. It's good tempo. It's very, very interesting. I wonder if 1/1 is enough for 1 mana. Or how many times you need to practice to get like actual value out of it. Otherwise, you know what? No, 6 out of 10 if the Naga deck is good. And that's Priest. And here's Rogue. We have Pirate Admiral, Hook Tusk, Pirate, 8 mana, 8/8. If you summoned 8 other pirates this turn, plunder the enemy. And their plunders are take their supplies, take 5 cards from your opponent's deck. You just steal them. Take their gold, you take 2 cards from your opponent's hand. Or take their ship, take control of your opponent's highest attack minion. So take their ship is obviously going to be the tempo play. If they play their Deathwing or whatever, you obviously just take all their minions. And it's pretty it's pretty groovy. Take their supplies. If they have not played their combo, if they're like a combo deck and they have not played their combo, or they're like still searching for combo pieces, it looks like, if you take their supplies, you can possibly just win the game against combo decks. It's a very interesting idea, especially against like Ignite Mage and stuff like that. I wonder if you're able to like just steal games by taking their supplies. Either taking their supplies or their gold. Their gold is less cards you get, but 2 actual cards that you're taking. And if they have like 2 cards in hand and you take their gold, man, they're almost just out of cards. And like they're playing off the top of their deck, and maybe you take some maybe you just take some important things. This card, I think this card is definitely gonna see play. It's just a matter of when. This is a 7 out of 10 until this is a 7 out of 10 until I get proven wrong and Rogue Pirates don't work, or later in the year whenever Rogue gets a little bit more pirates. But right now, just a 7 out of 10, but very interesting applications. I really do like how they're playing a little bit more combo breaker here in like some of their cards. Let's see, and now we are at 5 mana Azron Vessel. Summon 2 3/3 pirates with stealth. Put a Sunken Vessel on the top of your deck. On the bottom of your deck. Cast when drawn, summon 2 3/3 pirates with stealth. And apparently there are 2 different pirates. So we have a Sunken pirate with a 3/3 with stealth, and an Azron pirate with it's another 3/3 with stealth. So they're just 2 versions of the same thing. Haha. Okay. Well, this is fine. I don't know how valuable that is. 3/3s with stealth is actually quite powerful. That's a lot of damage. That's like different, like in a turn it's charge. You'll be fine discovering it and discounting it with preparation, but this is just a 3 out of 5 unless you have like your deck built around it, or you'll find it in discover pools and play it, but it's like one of the worst sunken things in my opinion. But this card, it's a 6 mana 6/5 Krakatoa Colossal 2. He has 2 claws, and they're Rush, Death Rattle, equipped a 2/1 claw. So, and your Krakatoa claws have +2 attack. So what you do here is you attack the claw. All of these are claws. So you attack one thing, one of the minion claws into a minion, get the claw, attack the claw into another minion, or into their face, and then you attack into a minion, get another fresh claw that you have for next turn, and that's about it. That's good. That's good value right there. That's a lot of damage, and then they still have to deal with the 6/5. And it's a lot of just actual like threatening 4 damage. Everything is 4 damage apparently. Oh, the claws can go face. That's like 8 damage if they don't deal with it, worth of just claw face damage. Yeah, good card. This is honestly, I think this is going to be really good in Rogue. 9 out of 10. One of the better Rogue cards I think we've seen. Cutlass Courier. 3 mana 2/5. After your hero attacks, draw a pirate. That's so good. That's so good. 3 mana, 2/5. That's huge, beefy butt. You click coin, you draw 2 cards. If it's 2 turns, you draw 2 pirates. Builds to our Hook Tusk. You can be the aggressive pirate deck. Hopefully they have the South Hand, Deckhand, or whatever in. Really, really good card. This is an 8 out of 10 card. This is an 8 out of 10 card for the pirate deck. If it exists, it'll be the best card in the pirate deck. You mold towards that. And last card for Rogue right now. It's a 5 mana 4/4 Bootstrap Sunkeneer combo. Put an enemy minion on the bottom of your opponent's deck. That's so good. That is Vile Spine Slayer, but better, because you don't trigger death rattles or anything, or minion or res pools. This card's gonna see play. It's a pirate. This card's gonna see play in the pirate deck and in the control version of Rogue. This is an 8 out of 10 card also. This is just gonna see play no matter what. It's just juice. Doesn't trigger death rattles. I'm happy to see this card. I'm gonna get annoyed by that card though. How much longer do we have? Okay. We're doing pretty okay, I guess. Alright, so now we have Shaman, and we're starting off with Glug the Gulper. It's Colossal 3, 7 mana, 3/5. After a friendly minion dies, gain its original stats. 1 second. Alright, where was I? Alright, so we have a 7 mana 3/5 Colossal 3 Glug the Gulper. After a friendly minion dies, gain its original stats. And all the tails are just 2 mana 2/2s with taunts. That's fun. So at the biggest, it can get 6 + 6 naturally. So it's gonna be a 9/11. Pretty good. I don't think it's going to be amazing, in my opinion. This can get silenced or killed. It's one of the weaker Colossals, in my opinion. Yeah, with that being said, this is probably just like a 6 out of 10. You'll be fine if you discover it. I don't know how you discover it, though. Add a beast synergy. Let's see. 1 mana Azeron scroll. Discover a fire, frost, or nature spell. Put a sunken scroll on the bottom of your deck. 1 mana spell. You have to be careful because they're always good. Sunken scroll. Add a fire, frost, or nature spell from your class from your class to your hand. This is really, really good. I'm gonna play this in duels. This is a really good just value card for Shaman, especially if you have some dredging. You can get a lot of spells out of this scroll. You get like 4 different spells out of this scroll if you like play it correctly. Oh yeah, I want this card. I'm definitely gonna play the hell out of this card. Let's see. Wrathspine Enchanter. Battlecry. Cast a copy of a fire, frost, and nature spell in your hand. Targets chosen randomly. It's a 7 mana 5/4. This is going to be interesting if you have big Shaman spells. Not too interesting if you have some weak dumb targeting. It's a Naga. It seems interesting, but I don't think there are enough big spells for Shaman yet. So I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10 until Shaman gets more big spells. It's interesting. It's a copy, but it has too many opportunities to ruin your day since it's targets chosen randomly. Alright, now we're at a 3 mana 3/4 fire spell plus 2 damage, Radiance of Ashara. Your nature spells spells cost 1 less, and after you cast a frost spell, gain 3 armor. This is an awesome elemental. You're playing this in your elemental decks. You're playing this in your spell Shaman decks. This is a 10 out of 10 card for Shaman. It does anything you need it to do, plus more. I don't know what it doesn't do. This is just, read it. On curve, good stats. Free nature spells. Not much you can say about this one. Chef's Kiss. 1 mana, Schooling. Add 3 Piranha Swarmers to your hand. And 3 Piranha Swarmers. After you summon a Swarmer, gain 1 attack. That's pretty good. So it's basically a 3/1, a 2/1, and a 1/1. That's a lot of damage, especially if you have things like in Bloodlust or whatever. It fills your hand. This is a card that needs a lot of help though, so it's a 3 out of. This is a 3 out of 10. We'll discuss this one maybe if there's more synergies in it later, but at this point it's meh. Alright, 5 mana, Coral Keeper, 3/4. Summon a 3/3 elemental for each spell school you cast this game. This is really easy to summon like 3 3/3s by the time you're casting it at 5 mana. So I'm gonna say this card is a 9 out of 10. It's so good, so much tempo, so much damage. This is what the spell Shaman needed to play on the board and not just rely on its spells for damage. I really like this card. You have to build your deck around it correctly, but it's not hard to do that. Now let's see. 3 mana, Bioluminescence. Give your minions spell damage +1. Now Schooling makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, you fill your board with like swarm of glowflies or whatever, or no, not swarm. You fill your board or whatever. Play this. You lightning bolt, crackle, and then fire blast or firebolt or whatever, and you kill your opponent. Full board spell damage +7. That's almost Malagos level. Yeah, Nuts card. This card's definitely gonna get changed. It's gonna get nerfed at some point, I think. It's too good not to. There are gonna be too many OTKs around it. 10 out of 10 card, but this is 10 out of 10 in a janky way and not 10 out of 10 in a good designed way. That's it for that one. And then we're at 3 mana, 2/5 Piranha Poacher. At the end of your turn, add a 1/1 Piranha Swarmer to your hand. This is just more Piranha synergies. If you're playing the 1/1 Piranha deck, again, 3 mana, 2/5. That's such fat stack, such fat stats that you can just almost auto include this into any Murloc Shaman deck. And maybe Murloc Shaman comes back later in the year, especially with all the stuff we're getting here. Piranha Swarmer is just gravy on top. I'm not worried about it. So now we are at 1 mana, Scalding Geyser, deal 2 damage, dredge. Fire spell. That's the fire spell we needed. That's because most of the time, especially in duels, you relied on Fire Blast or Lava Blast or whatever to be your fire spell. Now this can be your fire spell that also gives you better quality of draws. Insane. It helps with the spell schools and Coral Keeper, because you have your Frost with Wind Chill and your Nature with like Crackle and Lightning Bolt. So this really seals up the holes that you have in your multi-class shell. So now we're done with Shaman. Now we're going to Warlock, and now Zakil. I guess we're gonna wait on Zakil, so and we'll go on to that after. So now 2 mana, Chum Bucket. Get all Murlocs in your hand +1/+1. Repeat for each Murloc you control. That's a lot of stats if you have a full board of Murlocs, which it's not hard to do. The problem is, if you have a full board of Murlocs, you normally don't have a full hand of Murlocs. So it's kind of, I guess, a balancing game of what Murlocs do you want to play early so you can play Chum Bucket. This is going to be an interesting card. I think we're going to have to see how many good Murlocs are in this core set to really validate how powerful this card is. So on a baseline, though, I'd say against control decks, I think this is a good spell to like discover against like a control deck as a Murloc aggressive deck. So I'll give it a 4 out of 10. It's interesting. I like it. I like anything Murlocs, though. Alright, so now, Abyssal Wave. 6 mana, deal 4 damage to all minions. Give your opponent an Abyssal Curse. And what is an Abyssal Curse? At the start of your turn, take 0 damage. Each curse is worse than the last. So this is just actually upside. Because you're giving your opponent a shitty card that deals damage upgrading. Huh. At 4 damage to all minions is like really, really good, especially as a warlock. You're looking for stuff like that. It's good in arena. I think it'll be fine in duels. I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to see how aggressive it is and what strategies like Warlock's really playing. This card does not excite me. It's a 3 out of 10 because I think Warlock still has good enough sweepers as it is. I'm not sure what they have after rotation, but I'm sure it's better than a 6 mana deal 4. You already have Hellfire at 4 mana for that. Maybe that got rotated. I'm not sure. But now we're at 3 mana Azran Scavenger. Put a Sunken Scavenger on the bottom of your deck. It's a 3 mana 3/4 Murloc. That's good stats. And the Sunken Scavenger is Battlecry. Give your other Murlocs +1/+1 wherever they are. That's bonkos. Honestly, I'm interested in Warlock because you have the hero power to like just deal a bunch, to just keep on ahead of the tempo. I'm very excited for an aggressive Warlock strategy, especially with this Gigafin. 8 mana 7/4 Colossal +1 Battlecry. Devour all enemy minions. Death Rattle. Spit them back out. This is great against taunts, especially at the top of your end in a Murloc aggro deck. You can eat all the minions and then attack for face, and then if they are even able to deal with this Murloc, you can spit them back out. Just good value here because it forces them to deal with this thing before they can get their minions back. And then boom, Gigafin's Maw. It's 6 mana 4/7 taunt. Death Rattle. Permanently destroy all minions inside Gigafin. Okay, that's really good actually. That's really, really, really good. I forgot it got a Colossal. Yeah, they can't even deal with this thing with minions. They have to deal with it with spells. This is a good control tool, and this is a good like top-end Murloc's tool. Because you can also silence this to not spit them back out also. Makes you think. This is a 7 out of 10 card because it's a little beefy, a little expensive. Don't know where I'll see it, but it's definitely a good card. It has its applications. And then one last Murloc. It's a 4 mana 4/4 Blood Scent Vilefin. Battle Cry. Dredge. If it's a Murloc, change its cost to health instead of mana. That's juice, especially if you can draw it that turn. You're just gaining tempo. Because you can play this on, you can do this on 6. Change its cost to health instead of mana. Life tap. Boom. You have a free Murloc right there. And it's a good stats for Murlocs. Like, these are beefy Murlocs they're printing. They're not really skimping out on the stats here. This whole package of Murloc, I'm really, really excited for the Warlock Murloc package. That sounds weird, but I like how it rolls off the tongue. It's really just dependent on the core set. So now our last one before neutral cards, our Warrior. And let's start off with the Azran Trident. It's going to be a 3 mana 3/2 Flaming War Axe. Death Rattle, put a Sunken Trident on the bottom of your deck. And it is a 3 mana, again, another Fiery War Axe. After your hero attacks, deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. That's really solid. That's way better than that Frozen, that one that dealt damage on Death Rattle. You know what I'm talking about, the 4-2 weapon way back when. This is just, I think, an improvement on that, especially if you have some Dragon Warrior. I don't know if there's Ankar. I think Ankar rotates. But this has to compete with the tradable weapon, and I'm not sure if this competes with the tradable weapon. Alright, next one is going to be 5 mana 5/5 Lady Ashvane. Oh wait, hold on. Azran Trident. This is going to be a 3. This is going to be a 3 out of 10. Lady Ashvane. It's going to be 5 mana 5/5. Give all weapons in your hand, deck, and battlefield +1/+1. So this is an upgrade technically. This is just a mega upgrade. But I don't know how many weapons you're really running in your deck. If you're running the all-weapon deck, it's kind of wacky because giving this +1/+1 makes it harder for you to go through all your weapons. This is not a legendary I would craft. I would hope I wouldn't even pull it. This is a 2 out of... This card is a 2 out of 10. It's not good. Not good at all. It's just a 5 mana 5/5 basically. And this card is really cool. This is just like a new Deathwing, kind of. 9 mana, 8/9. Battlecry, attack 3 different attack 3 different random enemies. And so this clears a board basically and hits face. If they have they have 2 minions, it's face. The minions kill the minions. I really like this card. This is going to be the topper of a lot of like aggressive warriors. Maybe in duels. I don't know. This is just a really, really, really cool card. It's enemy minion. It's just attack enemies, clears up things. You're smacking this down whenever you can play it at any time. This card is a 7 out of 10. In Warrior, I'm not sure how many times they're gonna play it, but I really do believe in its effect. 8 damage, 8 face damage just for free. Yum. Let's see. This is a spell. It's a 2 mana, the Fires of Zin Azshari. Replace your deck with minions that cost 5 or more. They cost 5. This is just another Explore on Girl, I think. This is going to be exciting. I want to see more Explore on Girls be created and punish anybody who casts random spells. Because this is sure they cost... This is an interesting high roll card, but that's all it is. This is a good 5 out of 10 because it's interesting. In the spirit of the card, it's a 5 out of 10. It's not going to do much. It's interesting. It's cool, but it's just most of the time going to get cast randomly, and you feel bad about deleting your whole deck. And this being said, we have 7 mana, 5/6 taunt, battle cry. If you have a weapon equipped, summon a 5/6 Naga with Rush. This is a lot of stats. This is a really good card. This is going to be the payoff for playing a good weapon. It's going to be it's a 4 out of 10 for me because the weapon is, the weapon synergies are pretty meh. Yeah, that's about it for me. Taunt and Rush, you've seen it before. It's good defensive tools. But maybe the weapons get there. And now, 7 mana, 5/5, Colossal +1, Battlecry, discover 3 pirates to crew Nellie's ship. And then Nellie's ship, it's a 5 mana, 2/6, taunt, death rattle, add Nellie's pirate crew to your hand, they cost 1. So yeah, people are worried you can get Mr. Smite, and that sucks, but and actually there's not a lot of pirates in the pool, so they're probably going to get a lot of Mr. Smites here. But this is a good powerful card for either Pirate Warrior or just Control Warrior, because it's a good defensive tool and it's just a 7 mana 5/5, add a bunch of cheap shit into your hand. So yeah, good card. It's gonna be this is a 7 out of 10. Decent. It'll be played. Not much to complain about. You'll see a lot of people getting a lot of cheap Mr. Smites. Alright, now we're at neutral, and this is going to be neutral speed round. because I'm tired of doing this. And I didn't expect this much effort to be put into it. So let's start off with 5 mana, 4/4, any Storm Coil. It's going to be a battle cry, choose a friendly mech, summon a copy of it with Rush, Wind Fury, and Divine Shield. This is fantastic. This is going to go in any deck that has any mechs of notable value, and it's going to win you a lot of games because it just wins you on tempo. Awesome. This is going to be an 8 out of 10. This is an 8 out of 10. One of my favorite legendaries in the set so far, looking at it. Let's see. 3 mana, 2/4, silence, battle cry, silence all other minions. That's an incredible effect. As Zeddy pointed out, this is a answer to Mass Freeze. I'm very excited in this card, but also this card will blow me out a lot, and I'll get salty about this card a lot. So this card, 7 out of 10 because it's just good utility. Let's see. School Teacher. 4 mana, 5/4, great stats. Battlecry, add a 1/1 mana, add 1/1 Noggling to your hand. Discover a spell that costs 3 or less to teach it. Depends on the class you put it in, but if you're in like Mage, Shaman, Druid, I don't know. This is a pretty decent card, and you can maybe even get like a Frostbolt out of this. Out of a 1 mana, cast a Frostbolt. This is a great card. Naga Giant. Ooh, another giant. So exciting. We love this is cost 1 less for each mana you've spent on spells this game. This is great for Big Spell Mage. This is really interesting because it's kind of like the Arcane one, but a little bit more balanced. And it's 20 mana. That's a lot of mana. That's a lot of spells you have to cast, but if you cast like 2 10 mana spells, you're fine. There's a lot of science you can do with it. This is going to be a really, really cool card. Let's see. 5 mana, 6/4, Gangplank Diver. Dormant for 1 turn, rush immune while attacking. This is a great arena. Great pirate to randomly discover. Dormant is underappreciated, and I don't think people realize how powerful it is right now. Rush and immune while attacking, just great combo. Kind of clunky for the stats, but you know what you get, Alright, it's 3 mana, 2/4, Dormant, Rush Poison. This is a great, again, Rush Poison, Dormant, that's probably one of the best kind of effects you can get, because you're basically just killing anything without Divine Shield. Dormant for 1 turn, they'll know it's coming, but if they already have one big thing, they're not going to stop it from being hit. Let's see. 1 mana, 4/1, Pelican Diver, Dormant, Rush. This just stops any, like, crazy aggro shenanigans. You put it down turn 1. You put it down turn 1, they can't play their scaling thing, and you're pretty happy about that. Let's see. 5 mana, this is the legendary. I'll take a little bit more time on this. 5 mana, 5/5. If you cast 3 spells while holding this, choose an ancient relic. And all these ancient relics is Ring of Tides. After you cast a spell, this becomes a copy that costs 1. That's just copying a spell and cheapening it. Pretty good big spell mage. Add a random colossal minion to your hand. It costs 1. That's really just good value if you just need to fill up your board. 2 mana is Zathal. After you cast a spell, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero and lose 1 durability. This will kill a lot of people. This is just Pyroblast most of the time. You're gonna get this one, and you're just gonna get destroyed to death by the priest. By the priest who has that refreshing mana crystals thing. And last one, Tidestones of Golgothaness. Shuffle 5 random spells into your deck, set their cost to 1, draw 2 cards. That's probably the worst one. If you have an empty deck, though, it seems interesting. Depends on the class you put it into, too, especially. It has a lot of utility. You just really have to experiment with this one. Alright. Let's see. This one is going to be this is actually like an 8 out of 10 because you can just win games with this card. You can build your deck around it and win. Let's see. 7 mana, 5/9, Battle Cry. If you cast 3 spells while holding this, deal 3 damage to all enemies. This is great. This is a fantastic card. It reminds me of, there's a Warlock card that does this, but it doesn't have the requirements. Solid card. Deal 3 damage to all enemies, not even all characters. This is a really good control tool. Maybe control uses it. Maybe this is too clunky. It is a Naga, so if you're like maybe the control Naga deck, maybe. That's it. Alright, 3 mana, 3/4, awesome stats Naga. If you cast a spell while holding this, draw a Naga. This is an amazing Naga neutral card. Wow. This is really, really, really good. If you have the coin, if you coin this out, you draw a Naga. Yeah, this is the best. This is one of the best cards in the Naga decks. This is a 10 out of 10 in Naga decks. Can't say much more about it. Oh no, I accidentally exited out of it. Let's see. Baba Naga. It's gonna be a 4/4/4/4, a 4-mana 4/4 battle cry. If you cast a spell while holding this, deal 3 damage. Another great Naga, dealing 3 damage, and that's just a very, very. Again, you can coin it out to deal 3 damage. This is a really good card. Anything that can deal damage, especially 3, it's good. It helps you swing the board. Again, this is more tools for the Naga deck. I'm sure we'll get more in the core set, or maybe this is just it. I don't know. But great card. This is like this is a 7 out of 10. You're putting it in every Naga deck. Let's see. 4 mana, 3/6. Excavation Specialist. Battlecry Dredge. Reduce its cost by 1. That's pretty good. If you have an expensive thing that you dredged, maybe you're 1 mana off of it. This is a fine discover. I don't know if you're playing this. If you have a lot of those Sunken cards, you're gonna want this, but if that's about it. This is a little overcosted for what it does. And then we already know what the Swarmers are. After you summon Piranha Swarmer, gain +1 attack. This is just a base card of it. 2 mana, 2/3. Amalgam of the Deep. Yeah, this is just an Amalgadon. This is an Amalgadon that gives you card advantage. This is great. I can't say anything about this card. It's gonna go in every single tribal deck ever, and I love it. Let's see, 1 mana. Oh, and also, this is going to be a reason to play Galaka Crawler in every wild deck. Let's see, 1 mana, 1/3, Sir Finley. This is a legendary. Swap your deck again if you have a lot of dredge. This is really good. If you're looking for specific cards, if you're like a combo paladin deck, then Sir Finley is really you full mulligan your spells, and then you're still not happy with your hand. Just play Sir Finley on turn 1, and then you have everything you need. At least that's my opinion. I think this is a really cool, interesting card for combo decks. I don't think you're going to be playing it in like you could be playing it in aggressive decks if you just want to mulligan your hand again. This is a really, really, really good card with aggressive stats. It's a Murloc. Oh man, I really, really like Sir Finley here. Let's see. Ambassador Fayan. It's a 3 mana 4/5. Put 3 colossal minions on the bottom of your deck. Again, that's a combo with Finley. That's a combo with that dredge card. This is a really good card if you are able, like if you're like the druid who played Guff. If you just need value, it's for the value decks. I don't know if those are gonna return. I really don't know what Hearthstone is gonna look like in the next couple of like the next year. But I really hope this card is good, so that way we know we've gone back to value decks. This card is gonna be this card is it's a 6 out of 10. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. It really just depends on what's good and if value is good. 4 mana 2/6 Blade Master Okani. Battlecry. Secretly choose to counter the next minion or spell your opponent plays while this is alive. This is such a cool card. I'm putting this in my even Warlock deck because this just I hate not having an answer to something I know that's coming the next turn. So this card really gives me an answer to something is coming the next turn. This is really good for the control deck. This is good for the value deck who doesn't want to get beat by the OTK deck next turn. This card is really, really good. I really like it. It's annoying, but it's the perfect kind of that mix of good and annoying that I like. And last but not least, 2 mana 2/3 Battlecry Dredge Tuskar Trawler. This is good. This is baseline 5 out of 10. You're gonna play it if you want to dredge. It's a pirate, such a good pirate if it dredges. Can't complain. That's just a good card. It's not technically a card. It's only half a card, as I kept on saying. But I did that whole thing. I'm not doing another take. That was a whole ass take. I really appreciate you guys for watching. If y'all watched this whole thing, and I hope y'all gained a little bit of insight. This honestly is just a good way to go over the cards before they come out, and I'm really excited for this set, guys. I hope y'all have a great day, and stay safe.